All right, so next up we do have Tater. And first he's going to be fighting Riddles. I don't know how many games they're going to play. We'll see. And I know after this, depending how quickly this goes, then he does have one against Leon. And I'm not sure if that was another like Elite Smash thing that they have to run into. So we'll figure out exactly how long these take. And if they're short, we'll go through both of them. If this one ends up being at least 3 or 5 games, then we'll just take a look at this one for now, and then we'll move on to Blueprint. But yeah, overall, Tater's still a beginner player. Not sure if he's playing Lucina or Duck Hunt at this one. We'll figure it out. And then 519. Oops. Let's get over there. Okay, Duck Hunt. Oh yeah, we got Duck Hunt. So yeah, let me talk about this now. So yeah, Duck Hunt versus the Shotos in general are pretty much all very similar matchups. The biggest exception being Terry for very obvious reasons. Basically, the Shotos have a extremely hard time approaching and don't really have any options to win neutral. And all of our attacks are like multi-hit. So Can's a multi-hit, Clay Pigeon's a multi-hit, Up Air's a multi-hit. So they can't focus attack through to land that way. Like the most they can hope for is maybe a good trade, but for the most part, like they're going to get anti-aired by Up Air, and there's not really too much they can do by that. And like, you know, they can technically hit things like Can away, but Clay Pigeon obviously will go through them. And if you're really good at timing your pings with Can, then you'll be able to invalidate their attack, and then they'll get hit by Can too. But that's never happening on Wi-Fi. That's very high level things that probably are not going to happen at high level either, just because of how precise that stuff is. But yeah, I mean, overall, you're going to outrange them very well with Fair. You have the projectiles that control them even better. And when they jump in the air, they can't control their trajectory. Like, they're kind of stuck in the motion that they jumped in. And that helps a lot with just, like, trying to, like, figure out where they're going to go, where you're going to place your hitboxes, and, like, how to whiff punish them and all that stuff. Because that's mostly what you're going to be doing. Their frame data is very good, and their hitboxes are very good. So, for the most part, if you're going to try to outframe them, they will outframe you. And if you trade, that's going to be not in your favor. So, you're going to wait for them to whiff, and then you're going to hit them, for the most part. The other thing too is like there's a lot of easy ways to get like to juggle them. They're not great at landing, so you get those up airs. And as I mentioned, since they can't change their trajectory, reading where they're going to go and then getting a Clay Pigeon on them is very good. And if they focus attack, that's basically the freest Clay Pigeon in your life, because they can only dash left, dash right, or hold it, and all those get hit by Clay Pigeon. And when you hit a Clay Pigeon against them, they get comboed like crazy, and that allows you to kill them early and do massive damage. And they're very easy to edgeguard. Terry kind of has the most mix-ups, but he has the most vulnerable up B for grabbing ledge. And Ken is very easy to Marth Slayer against. Ryu, you're not going to really Marth Slayer him, but you can do the down air extend Can against Ryu very easily. And against Terry, you can do it against. Ken's a little bit harder just because like he has a pretty decent hitbox on his Shoryuken, but you should trade, and regardless, that should kill him and you should live. So even that's not too bad as well. So basically, the name of the game is be patient, don't approach, set up your trap with your cans, punish accordingly with Clay Pigeon, know when to use Gunman to control the ground as well. And as long as you abide by those things, you space properly with Fair, you'll have no issues with this matchup at all. But if they get in, they will annihilate you. And if we have to talk about Terry, I'll talk about Terry, because Terry is slightly different, but it's basically the same thing. Like, the one thing that Terry has is that he does have Crack Shoot, which goes over a decent amount of Duck Hunt stuff. But, like, if you play in a range to play around it, it's not an issue. It's just that he does have that one burst option that's technically better, but when you know how to play around it, it doesn't really help. So, let's see what happens. Yeah, there we go. Can. There we go. Miss input. Yeah, like there would have been not a bad time to throw out like a gunman. That was very weird Clay Pigeon. That was a very weird Clay Pigeon too. Like you could have just like been sandwiching him with the cannon. I don't know why you decided not to. Yeah, that so when something that like Rido says a lot, and I agree with it entirely, is a lot of Duck Hunts are very bad with gunmen. It mostly comes down to you don't know when or why you're placing them down. Like, technically, most of you guys probably know why you place it down, but you don't know when to. So in this case, like, Ken just got knocked back, and he was like absolutely anywhere close to getting to land on ground. So that gunman was very useless. Like it did absolutely nothing for him. So you're just wasting a resource. You want to wait for him to at least expend a jump and like be confirmed to be coming down before you throw that gunman out. So that way its shot will actually apply pressure. That one didn't apply pressure and just like locked you down there, and you couldn't do anything. Basically, it removed gunmen from when it would be useful. So that's why you don't want to do that. See, now that gunman wasn't bad. Ken was running towards him. He was like over here, so it's something he's gonna have to deal with. And then he also had a can too, so he's covering a lot of things at once at that. So that's like the timing that you want to do it with. And keep in mind, if you don't want to approach him after he's whiffed something, you can always clay pigeon, at least like the short Yukins and all that stuff. And that should be death, yeah. Also, remember, if your can's already covering a zone, don't cover the same area as can, because it's just going to be extra damage and then the can knockback. Absolutely no reason to put yourself at risk and to give yourself bad stage positioning. Again, bad gunman. Like technically he could have been approaching and it would have become a little bit more useful, but overall just like throw a can and move yourself. There was no reason to place that gunman there. Like choke him out more. You had a shield can set up, but you didn't use it? It's just weird, because he was at 146, so if he DI'd bad, you could have killed him with that. If not, it would have put him off stage, and then you would have been able to get like a free edge guard situation off of that. And now you're dead. Oh, now you gotta jump. That was a very bad down tilt, because down tilt wasn't going to kill. Maybe the down angled F tilt, that trade at least would have killed, but... And God, that was a really laid out bear. It is Wi-Fi though, so always a chance that's going to be a thing. Oh yeah, he got messed up there. Yeah, so if he does break the clay pigeon like that, you won't have time to convert off of it. So he couldn't really do anything in that instance. He got so lucky with the timing that Nair hit. First of all, rising Nair from ledge is a terrible option. At least at low percents. At low percents, absolutely zero reason to be using it. At a higher percent, at least the weak hit will knock them away and you'll be able to land safely or potentially even get an up smash off of it to kill them. But like if he hit like earlier as he was rising, he just would have been able to take the hit and then kill him. Or yeah, actually at that ledge positioning, there was definitely a path that he could have done to like spike him and kill him. So you gotta be very careful. Like you always want to like land with like at least fair or up air. Oh, that was a really tricky one to convert off of. That was really good. Again, because he wasn't really thinking about why he placed the gunman there, he wasted that resource for future use. Oh wow. That was really cool movement. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I would not have done that gunman there. It's like if he did the can trade, he at least would have lived. And overall, that was kind of a bad usage there. Oh, this must have been like right after Leo released his tier list. If you didn't know, Leo put Duck Hunt as like the second worst character in the game. It was kind of hilarious to see. I don't know why he had that. Yeah, this is Riddles. He was fighting Riddles. Oh, what? Why did he do that? No. Okay. Well, that's too bad. Well, that's too bad, because, like, he wasn't doing great, but he wasn't doing terrible either. I wish I could have seen a little bit more. So I think I could have seen adaptations there. Alex. I don't think you're in the chat, Tater, but like, as I said in the past, like you understand the concepts of what you're supposed to do, but you don't always throw them all into place. And I do think with enough practice, especially playing against good players that force you to think, I think you could do it. I really think you could get better. So. Yeah, let's see what happens against the Leon. So yeah, this matchup, I just have to explain that this is a big character against Duck Hunt. He loses. But yeah, the big thing is like Bowser is very fast though, so if you aren't careful, he can just get around and kind of obliterate you. So if you spam projectiles badly, he can just like kind of F-tilt through you, or like at worst case scenario, like F-smash through you. And that's going to be a very big punish. But as long as you play safely and like know where to throw your cans and clay pigeons, Bowser just eats it all. Has an impossibly hard time approaching. He doesn't really have armor to get through it as well. Like his tough guy doesn't really work against clay pigeon. Yeah, just has a hard time getting in. Gets eaten up by a lot of things. If you land a clay pigeon, you can kill him very early. And you know, his one gimmick is that he can kill early, and that's kind of it. He's got no other advantage. His game plan is you have to mess up to let him win. But it's Leon. Leon's got really good reads, so I wouldn't be surprised if Leon's going to be able to take this. That weight wasn't a bad idea, but I wish he did a little bit more off that tech situation. That's the other thing, too. When you fight heavy characters, you can clay pigeon their shield, and they can't do anything about it. It's absolutely hilarious. Like, those are characters where you can do point-blank clay pigeon, and it's not a bad option just because of what the character's like. Though that time, he did a very good read, though. Off of that can, he actually could have converted that into an up air for the kill, because he was so close to the blast zone. Kind of a shame he didn't go for that. Oh, smart by Leon. Oh, he actually could have pinged him. That's too bad he didn't. Yeah, I like that he didn't commit to clay pigeon there, because if he did, Leon potentially could have killed him. Yeah, Bowser's too big, so he's getting caught by that. That's kind of the nice thing about fighting with like big body characters. It's not like, oh, if I miss my up smash, he's gonna get around it. No, he's still getting hit. Yeah, and that clay pigeon was kind of unfortunate because it prevented him from getting like any can pressure started. Yeah, so Leon's very good at jumping around the clay pigeon. So at this point, when you're at that distance, throw out Gunman, so then you should be able to shield before his fair hits you. And then off of that, you should be able to just shield and then get a very good punish off of him. Oh, he wanted the cheese. If he did one more, or he went for like the down air, or just like a strong back air, he would have been okay. Oh, again, he's giving up stage positioning right here. That's all he needs to take. See, that was good timing on the gunman. It was just slightly off. Yeah, I think he should be able to lift that as long as he doesn't get the platform. Oh, it looks so dumb. But yeah, I mean, the main reason why like Tater didn't kill him there is just he had his can. What? He could have killed him. Maybe not killed him, but like he could have just reset this. He could have prevented all these situations from happening. That was a really good nair from Leon. I thought he would have landed on the platform and then Tater could have gotten the kill on him, but pretty good positioning on his part. Yeah, he didn't play around the shield can properly. That was bad. That was absurdly dumb. You have to remember, so when Bowser does Flame Breath, he can basically do the anchor can. So if you hit it, it's going to go nowhere. You just need to remember that. So you basically made yourself a sitting duck at that point. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't know why. No, he didn't want a rematch. I don't blame him, though. That matchup's not fun. Whenever you get a heavy to the corner, you take control of the corner. You don't let them get back. They can't get back as long as you take control of the corner. So just make sure you do it. Use the one reason why, not the one reason, but one of the main reasons why Duck Hunt is a very good character, and use it. Don't just toss it away because you're not thinking. Just use it. Remember, if you get them to the ledge guard. Set up the ledge guard. Don't let them come back for free. So then that way you set yourself up for failure. Because that's what, whenever you do that, especially against a heavy, that's all you're doing. You're like, I really don't care if I win. So remember, if you get somebody to the ledge, make sure you at least get underneath like that side battlefield platform, so that way you can properly cover all their options, rinse and repeating until you can get the kill, or you just get them to a high enough damage that basically any hit's going to kill them, and then you do that. Leon had 0 pressure there. What are you talking about? Like, look at this. Okay, right here. That, and then all he had to do was press B, and then that, like, he won that. At that instance, if Bowser jumps above you, all you have to do is hold shield, and then the one mix-up that he has is he can land with side B. At like 0%, you're not really too concerned, because like he's not really going to kill you there. And then, like, even here, I don't know why you would F-tilt there. Just, like, run back, control center. So then that way, when he does any option from ledge, like, he can't get back. Bowser going to ledge against Duck Hunt is, like, absolutely one of the worst options. Unless he's doing, like, ledge trump bear. Because, obviously, that kills very early. And, like, just throughout the entirety of this match, like, the only thing that happened is that Tater gave him openings and allowed Leon to get the win. That was the only thing that happened. There was 0 things that Leon was doing that I could specifically say, like, oh, he was pressuring him well. No, it's just like Tater played really dumb and then lost. Not really. Like, I don't think Tater knew he was even fighting Leon. Like, I think he just happened to realize later that he did. I don't think he specifically went to his stream and was fighting, because this was Elite Smash. This wasn't like he specifically went to his stream to go find him. Like, if you're playing him in tournament, okay, that's one thing. Or you were doing, like, oh, viewer battles. That's another thing. But in this very instance, this was Elite Smash. This was not viewer battles. So I know that didn't exist. All right. But yeah, no, overall, Tater, just remember the things. Just ledge guard. If there's one thing that you need to do, when you hit your opponent and you get them to the ledge, just focus on your ledge traps and do that one thing, and you'll be significantly better for it. That's really the biggest thing so far. Like, just focus on one thing and make it that one, because that's very important for Duck Hunt. All right.